Welcome into part two of the Cavalier Connections grade book report card of the UVA basketball program from this past season. Jay, I just came in from the bathroom, had to clean the face. Got hit with a couple tomatoes. One of them bastards threw an egg at me. My own kid from the bedroom threw something at me. I'm not very happy.
Blake Buchanan threw one through the screen, from what I understand.
Buchanan's not happy with me right now. Blake, I told you I like you, buddy. If we went one-on-one, you'd beat me 21-0. But I apologize. But moving on, here we go, part two, as we rate the team. And we're going to start part two just like we started part one with the second person to transfer out of the program. We got our guy, Day Ames. And so you want to start us out, Jay?
Yeah, just so everybody has the numbers on Day. It was 8.7 a game, almost 2 assists, about 1.5 rebounds. Shot 82.9% from the free throw line and 39.7 from three. I was really impressed with Day, and even Coach Sanchez said, it took him most of the year to figure out how best to use Day, which was off ball. Not even though he's only 6'1", putting him, more like a point guard size, but he played better off the ball. And once he did that, he had some games where he played really well, and kind of was like a three-headed monster with Rohde and IMAC. Came in with very little experience. Started playing at the end of the year at Kansas State. And so we were hopeful, didn't really know what to expect. I gave Day a B. I thought he had a great year because he really could have quit about halfway through. And he should have been very upset, and I'm sure he was upset because he wasn't getting minutes. And it was so painfully obvious that we needed offense on the floor at times, and yet Coach Sanchez wouldn't play him. So I commend him for staying with it. I can't say I blame him for transferring. I hope he'll reconsider when, if it's Coach Odom or whoever it is. But I think, the rumor is there's a point guard going to transfer in, I think from maybe Georgetown. And then, of course, Mallory is rumored to commit. They're both smaller guards. He's a smaller guard. He may just see that, hey, I might not be a great fit. Move on.
What about Christian Bliss?
Who?
Yeah.
You said Good Morning, Miss Bliss?
That's
a TV show from the 80s.
Yeah, so Day Ames. This is one I'm disappointed to see leave if he leaves. Once again, I've said it on a lot of these guys. I thought, misused quite a bit. And there was a stretch where he wasn't even getting playing time, or he would start, he'd make one mistake and would be out of the game. Yep. And this is early in the year when Rohde was playing point guard and making mistake after mistake after mistake. And we'll talk about Rohde later, but, those probably making all those mistakes helped Rohde in the back end. But I'm like, Ames is yanked from the game for one mistake. And
it wouldn't go back in that half.
Correct. And I thought my eyes were fooling me because I'm the first to tell you guys I'm no X's and O's guy. I'm just a fan. I watch, and this is what I see. And I'm like, why are they not playing Day Ames? I don't understand. Is there something that's happening on the floor that I just don't see?
Right.
And then when he finally got his run in the back half of the year, and there are games, if you needed a basket, he could go find a basket for you. And he could shoot that three. He goes to the foul line and make foul shots. And, I thought he was just a player who he had one game, 20-some points, he could put the team on his back and go get you some buckets. Is what I'm trying to say.
That game at Pitt, he was unstoppable.
Yep. And I mean, if this guy got an open jump shot, this guy was making this shot. I mean, that's just how it was all year when he played. I actually, the first time I think for us is I'm agreeing with you. I gave him a B as well.
Right.
And in the right offense, I mean, man, somebody's going to get a player. I think a team that's going to run a little more and let him be more free. I mean, he's he might be a 20-point a night guy.
20 might be it depends on where he went, but he certainly has nights where he'll get you 20. I don't know about, averaging, but
Right.
Certainly a good enough player to get to 15, I think.
Moving on, our next guy, and I guess I'm starting this one. When he came in early in the season, man, the excitement was brewing for us. Ishan Sharma, and I think flow of the offense for this guy, it just hurt him because I believe I know he's supposed to be a shooter, and shooters have to keep shooting. He just didn't get the opportunity to keep shooting. And then did he play in the ACC tournament or no minutes at all?
No, he did not.
Didn't get on the floor. I would like to see him get more minutes as a freshman because the season was kind of, it's going up in smoke. So getting the young guys the experience on the floor. I think he was a defensive liability a lot this year, but there was lack of opportunity on the floor. And he averaged 3 points a game, 12 minutes a game. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. He shot 33% from the three, 33% from field goal percentage. So, pretty much all his shots were all 3-point attempts.
Yeah.
I was really hoping with the dynamic of him and IMAC on the floor together that, to be able to space the floor. And because last year we had a problem with shooting. It just didn't ever work itself out. I didn't know what to expect of Ishan, and I just graded him a C. He was, I guess.
Yeah, for me with Ishan, I think he redshirts if Coach Bennett is the coach.
Yeah,
I don't think he plays at all this year. Don't know that, but I know there was talk of him redshirting as well. And I know we know Bennett loves to use a redshirt year for guys and get that last year on the back end. But I liked what he brings to the table, and he's got potential to be. I don't know that he's a guy who's going to be a starter for you. I think he's like a sixth man that comes in and microwaves it for you. He can get hot in a hurry. What was it? Vinny Johnson was the microwave back in the day.
Avery Johnson, Vinny Johnson.
No, it was
I think Avery was the glove, right? No, the glove was Glenn Payton. Gary Payton.
We're showing our age. We're forgetting guys' names, but anyway, I think he can come in and get you 9 points in 3 minutes, off the bench. And then, on nights that he's not making it, he's not going to see the floor as much. But I hope he stays in the program. I definitely think there's a place for him. I wish he would have redshirted, honestly, because I think physically, he could use that year to get stronger and bigger. And by the time he's in his fourth year, wherever he's at, whether it be Virginia or somewhere else, he's going to say, man, I wish I had another year to really to build off of. But for those reasons, again, this didn't happen at all in episode 1, but I agree. I'm giving him a C.
Right. Let's see here.
We can't agree on this one. I don't care.
If I'm if I'm Coach Sanchez, I wasn't redshirting anybody.
I get it.
And actually redshirting what's his face? The other big man, I thought it would have been good to have played him. Do you know the other transfer we got?
From Carter Lang.
Yes. With the size issue, the inside issues we had. Jay, your favorite guy, you get to start out with him.
All right, Mr. Andrew Rohde. Look, he was a rock for the team, averaged 9 points, 4 assists, 3 boards, a steal. Just a floor general that I did not think he was capable of being. 77% from free throw, 41% from three. Didn't think that would happen either. Listen, he showed to be a really good ACC player. Now, the ACC is extremely down. Do I think even in like the 2015 Tony Bennett years and those does he play a big part? I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but But this year, based on my expectations, I thought last year he was way over his skis, like just not a player that should be on the floor. And he definitely proved me wrong. I mean, he had a fantastic year. Hope he sticks around for his final year of eligibility. I don't know if he will, but I'd love to have him back. And for those reasons, going to A-. Because early in the year, he did have a lot of turnovers. Now, he cut them all out, but A-.
That's quite impressive from you, Jay. Rohde early in the year had a bunch of turnovers, and he looked like, how could this guy be the point guard? And then he had that stretch without a turnover and all those assists, and I can't come up with the number. I don't recall what the numbers exactly were, but I was very impressed with Andrew Rohde. It's not just his assist, his shooting, his scoring. The guy he's all in. He's all in. He's eats, sleeps, and breathes that Virginia basketball. That Georgia Tech game in the ACC tournament, we're down by, I don't know what, 10 points a minute to go, and the man is laying out on the floor for balls. Like, he just wants to win so bad. I'm an Andrew Rohde fan, and, last year was such a struggle. To turn that thing around like that this year and to tell us fans to shove it, because, I mean, we were all over this guy. And really, I thought he had an outstanding season. I didn't quite grade him quite as high, but I gave him my highest score I've given so far, a B+ for Andrew Rohde.
Okay. Not far away from an A-. That's just 1 point.
Yeah, it could just be a point. And moving on to probably the most popular player on the team, that guy right there. So I guess I'm starting this one. Yep. IMAC led the team in scoring, 14.5 a game. And, down the stretch in the back half of the season, he had multiple games of mid-20s, 27s and stuff like that. And the man can really shoot. If he's open, I feel like that shot's going in every single time he shoots the ball. He did have some down games as well. The one thing positive about McNeely from last year to this year is him being able to get to the basket a little bit more. His athleticism, it's just tough. It's just tough when teams lock in on him sometimes. I mean, that game, the last regular season game against who did we play at the end of the season?
In the last game of the year?
When we got beat, the last game
at Syracuse.
I mean, just brutal. And you could say it was in the Carrier Dome, which affects shooters, but I mean, he was brutal in that game. And overall, I mean, McNeely, I sure hope this guy stays. 1 year of eligibility left. I'm sure he'll have opportunities to get paid pretty well to go different places. As good of a shooter as he is, he tied for my highest rating on the team. I still gave him a B+.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, B+, strong score. You're higher than I am. And the reason is, again, I'm basing this on what did I expect? I expected IMAC to be the leader of this team. I expected him to shoot a high percentage from three. I expected him to, really lead this team to wherever we were going to go. And he had a lot of great moments. And so, but again, this is based off of my expectation of him. And it was like he'd play a great first half and then you wouldn't see him in the second half, or he'd have a horrible first half, second half, he would go off. It was, at the end of the year, he did have some games where he put it together for two halves, and that was great to see. I hope it carries over to next year for us and that he sticks around. But because of the nature of what I was expecting from him, I'm going with a B-.
And I was just looking at his stats. As a freshman, he was 6.7. Then he went to 12.3. Went to 14.4 this year. So he's gradually improved every year. So next season, if we give grades next season and he's back, expectations, we're looking at 17, 18 a game. It's just –
Jeff, let's hope he takes we're just going to recall it the Norman Nolan. Let's hope he does the Norman Nolan.
Yes, yeah.
12 to 21. 14 to 25 or 23, whatever. I mean,
The only difference is Norman Nolan's last season was brutal. And so we don't want it to
his
be
third
brutal.
year they made a tournament, so maybe
That's
they
right.
flip flop.
Yeah, maybe a flip flop. But the only thing about McNeely is you just feel like sometimes. I mean, there were games where he just couldn't be stopped. Like guys are all over him. He's just dropping those threes. But more times than not, I feel like sometimes teams could just lock in on him, and like if they decide they want to shut him down, kind of like Jordan back in the day. Every once in a while, he would get ticked off and be like, "You're not scoring on me," and he's not going to let you score. Sometimes, I say Calandria. Sometimes McNeely could get shut down like that, and then because he got beat up a lot this year too, a lot. Guys are bumping and hitting him and just trying to get into get under his skin, which it don't appear he ever has anybody under his skin.
Right.
I gave him a B minus. A B plus. You gave him a B minus. So we're moving on. Last one. Jay, you're gonna get to start out with this guy.
Yeah. So what was I expecting from this year's team? And he was put in a very tough spot 3 weeks before the year. We all know Coach Bennett steps down, and he is selected to be the interim coach. I thought this would be a borderline tournament team. On the bubble, probably finish around the 4th, 5th in the ACC, and we ended up tying for 9th. It's just hard, right? It's just hard. It's hard to grade this guy because of the situation he was put in. But there were so many times that strategically I just felt like, and again, we're not at practice, so we don't have all the information, and I acknowledge that. But there are so many times I'm like, why is Robinson not playing? Why is Tane in the game? Like when he took Sharma out after he had made a couple of big baskets in one of the games, and then Tane comes in, misses free throws, and there's just a lot of strategic things that I felt like he could have done better. I feel like Coach Bennett probably has this team at 18, 19 wins, and so for that reason, I'm going to go D plus.
I think some of Coach Sanchez's substituting patterns, he learned from his mentor. Because Tony Bennett used to do the same stuff. And David Till mentioned that the other night. We'd be looking at but we always said in Tony we trust because Tony Bennett found a way to win the games and Sanchez hadn't earned that. But very similar substituting patterns, some confusing decision making. We'll just say that. Like you said, when Sharma gets hot, and then we just that might have been
you pick up one foul, and IMAX out of the game before the first TV timeout.
Yeah. And you feel like I just forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, some of the substituting patterns baffled me. And some of the coaching moves. So that's on the negative side for Coach Sanchez. The positive side was or in his defense, he got the team just a few weeks before the season started. My expectations were exactly what yours were going in with Coach Bennett. And even when Sanchez took over, I just thought this team had enough talent to get to the tournament or have a shot to get to the tournament. So that comes down to a little bit of the coaching. But he had to take this team over just before the season started, keep the thing together. They did have one transfer out, which I think actually, made a huge difference in this team. If what's his face? Worley. If Worley does not transfer out, I think he might make a difference in a couple games himself. Just having a big guard to defend, I think may have made a big difference. But what was put on Sharma's plate and having to keep this thing together, that's all on the positive side. What's that?
You said Sharma's plate.
I'm sorry, Sanchez's plate, to keep the team together. And then the last part and the positive side of Coach Sanchez, we know the kind of person he is. And let's take the athletics to the side and the development of adult men and keeping this thing together after what happened right before the season. So I'm going to give him a C. And really, I think the basketball side leans more in the low D's, and the what was put on his plate side pushes his grade up. He got a little bit of a curve there, and I wish him nothing but the best. I wish he was going to be our coach next year, because he's still coaching right now in the NCAA tournament. Like that, he really would have had a great year, because I want him to be successful. And wherever he goes, I want him to be successful, unless he finds a way to Virginia Tech. Other than that, I wish him nothing but the best. So,
yep, agree with that 100%.
Well, that wraps up the grade book, and as these come out, and we know there'll be more transfers to follow, there will be coaching news to come. A lot of exciting time.
Soon, we're on the clock. I feel like we're on the clock right now. At any moment, somebody could come to a podium and put something out. We'll see.
And the exciting thing is, we're going to get a head coach, and potentially in the next couple of days, potentially a head coach announcement, potentially a Chance Mallory commitment.
Yep,
those are two exciting things. We know there's going to be some transfers out, but also there's going to be some transfers in, and we're going to get excited about it. Might not even know who the heck these players are, but they're coming to Virginia, so they got to be good.
That's right. ACC, baby.
That's right. And when transfers were coming in to Tony Bennett, every time somebody announced they were in the portal, everybody be putting on X and Facebook, with the big eyes, UVA. Any UVA person, big eyes come out.
Oh yeah.
Like we're the top destination for transfers.
Yeah.
And so that trend will continue.
At one point, I think Hunter Dickinson was coming to Virginia.
There's no doubt. He was definitely that big eyes came out when
schools. We were in the top two, Kansas and us, and
so there is exciting days ahead, better days ahead, we hope, and we'll see. I can't wait. We'll have more to follow from the Cavalier Connection as if something gets announced. Once again, folks don't give a crap what we think about it, but they might just want to look at us talk for a few minutes. I don't know. Or it's something they can throw on, a mindless podcast while you're vacuuming the floor. Hey, listen, we'll take it. As if you like and subscribe, and then you vacuum while we're on, you get us a view, your floor gets cleaned, you wipe your windows down, and you can, or maybe you want to tune in and give your opinion. You go for that too.
Or maybe you're a business, Jeff, and you say, I love these guys. I want to be a part of it. All you have to do is send us a message. You got a business? Send us a message. We're always looking for new sponsors to add on, and would love the opportunity.
Talk UVA Sports at gmail.com. You can shoot an email. You can call Jay at make sure you go ahead and make that phone call. And
if they're listening at this point, they already have our number because it's my mom.
Hey, listen, we need to start flashing. We might open up a 900 hotline, like the WCW. What was it called?
Yeah.
The 1-900. We might open up a 900 hotline. You might get to talk to us live.
That's right.
99 cents for the first, or $1.39 for the first minute. 99 cents each additional minute. Anyway, no, we're not selling ourselves. I hope everybody has a great tournament. Enjoys the tournament. Big news on the horizon for the Who's.
And baseball going to Duke this weekend. Big series. Need to get 2 out of 3 at least.
It'd be nice. We'll see everybody soon. Go Who's.